Hello and welcome to Chart of the Day Cafe for Thursday, October 26th, 2017. Just want to read our disclaimer quickly. Trading stocks is a high level of risk and viewers should complete their own due diligence on any stock or underlying that they intend to own. 100% of the content of this video and communique is intended for journalistic and educational purposes only. This video and all indicators, strategies, and articles herein should not be construed as investment advice, not making any recommendations, always for your further homework. Good morning, Sue here on what is sure to be a very interesting day in the markets. It's Super Thursday. We're in the heart of earnings season now, and today is Super Thursday because a slew of very important earnings are coming in today, including Amazon and UPS. Aside from that, a market-moving event this morning, perhaps, we'll see. Mario Draghi is going to make an announcement about the future of the ECB bond buying program. So the market will be paying attention to that data for sure as well. But with that, let's get into today's video. I always start my videos off with a look at the Russell Index. And for that, I use the IWM, which is the ETF that represents the Russell 2000. I step back to take a look at it on a 5-year monthly time frame. The reason I look at the Russell Index first is that I want to make sure before I put any new names forward for my watch list, I'm putting them forward in a rising, healthy market environment. So we always take a look at the IWM, we use it as our proxy for the markets overall. So as you can see, we're looking at the 5-year monthly chart. This blue line down here is long-term support. The orange line is medium, and the purple line, the thin line, is more short-term support along with this black diagonal line here. So we can see these monthly candles the way the Russell's been trading in this wedge pattern throughout the entire year so far. Having said that, the candle for the month of September was a big bullish candle, pushing price out of our wedge and up into this area here. So this is the area that we're going to really pay attention to. I'm going to move it away from the 5-year monthly to the 2-year weekly because we want to see how price is behaving in a little more closer look. So again, this is the orange line of medium support, blue long term, so we're going to kind of ignore this for now. And we're really paying attention to this area up here. So price on the Russell made it up and over our black diagonal trend line, but it's now trading in this little mini wedge up here. So I'm going to move it away from the weekly to the daily, but I just wanted you to get that perspective of the big wedge on the weekly that's been forming all year and where we are right here, right now. So I'm going to move it away from the weekly to the 6-month daily. Here's the little mini wedge and our daily candles. Yesterday started off to be a really soft day, but all day long the buyers came in pushing price on the Russell back up into this area. I drew this black trend line in a couple of weeks ago saying the Russell Index is going to need to make it through this area here before we can really say that this bullish sentiment underneath the market is still in place and resuming. So my rules say when price on the Russell is trading below the 8-day EMA, I am not putting any new names forward. I'm just sitting tight and watching to see what the market wants to do. Having said that, I'm going to flag for you a stock, should in the next couple of days, because I don't put a video out until Tuesday. These go out every Tuesday and Thursday morning. But should the markets make it through this black line and have a bullish day today, I want to flag for you an old Chart of the Day Cafe pick that I think looks interesting here. And so the chart I wanted to flag for you this morning is VALE Corporation, ticker symbol VALE, trades on the New York Stock Exchange. They are in the basic materials sector. They're a metals and mining company. They're actually a Brazilian metals and mining company, but they are a big player in that space. So before I get into the chart, I just want to go over the scores for you again. I highlighted it on May 25th of 2017, and in that video I did the full-blown analysis of VALE. So today I'm just going to give you the shorter version, but I will tell you that when I do my sort this morning, VALE is coming up to the top of my value list. It's got great scores. So it's currently got an excellent value score, It's got a forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 32%. That is a very healthy number. It's got a current PE of 10.76, and it pays a small dividend. The dividend yield is 0.97%. So small dividend, but dividend nonetheless. So now let's get into the chart. We're looking at the 2-year weekly chart. The first thing I want you to note is that it's in this uptrend on the 2-year. It came into this area of support. This little green circle is where I highlighted it in May of this year. It had a little drift down from there, so you had to be patient with it. Now we're looking at the 2-year weekly, so I want to remind you these are weekly candles. But when it hit my trend line and moved up and over the blue 8-day EMA, which I use as my guide, it started to really tick up, and it went from about a little over $8 to a little over 11 in the next series of weeks. So we were a little bit early here, but VALE has done very well. What I like about the chart now is that I can identify this area of support. I like the way it's been hanging around this area of support for this week, 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. It's really thinking about which way it wants to go here. It's announcing earnings today, so that should be a determinant as to which direction VALE wants to go. So I'm going to move it away from the weekly to the daily. I'm going to go 6-month daily. So now we're looking at the daily candles. Here's that area of support I've drawn in. It's just a rough line, but I like the way it's been consolidating here. If they have good earnings today, I'm expecting it to have a bullish candle and lift up and over this area of consolidation, and I want to see my blue line ticking up this way. Worth keeping an eye on here for sure. So again, it's an important day in the markets. Markets will probably chop around a little bit this morning, maybe digesting that news from the ECB, but I would be keeping an eye on VALE for sure in this area. As a quick addendum to today's video, I also wanted to share with you analysts' opinion of VALE. So we're over at finviz.com, love this site. If you scroll down, you type in the ticker symbol for your stock, and mine is VALE. It will take you to the VALE page. Scroll down, and here's where you can see what analysts think of VALE. So recently, Goldman Sachs weighted it neutral. Morgan Stanley resumed equal weight, but all of these other guys earlier in the year, upgrade, 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 upgrade. These are all good to see. Love to see analyst support for the stock I'm looking at. I'm also going to flag for you a couple of articles that I think are interesting. This one is from Zacks Equity Research, why earnings season could be great for VALE. I'll include it with today's video in the show notes. Also worth noting, the Brazilian government congressional committee vote on reforms helping small miners in Brazil. That's got to be good for VALE. And finally, as I mentioned in my original VALE video, I go over to equityclock.com. These guys specialize in identifying seasonality when stocks come into seasonal favor. Equityclock.com, an amazing site. This is the seasonal chart for VALE. You can see that in the back half of the year, VALE comes into strong seasonal favor. No guarantee that happens again this year, but always good to know. With that, I will leave you. My next video goes out next Tuesday. Thanks for watching.